Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Music Mondays on Understandable English. In this series, I show you all the most popular songs that everybody knows, and I teach you what the lyrics mean. Today's song is I Ain't Marchin' Anymore by Phil Ochs. So let's get to it. Phil Ochs was an American protest singer who became famous in the 1960s during the folk singer era. Nearly all of his songs are political. While some are obviously calling for change, others have only a small subtext or a little bit of something that's noticeable, of a need for reform or change. Even today, his songs still ring true, or they are very relevant to the situation. But what does this song mean to me as an American who grew up listening to this music? Well, this anti-war song was one of the first Phil Ochs songs that I ever heard. I was immediately hooked, or I liked it. I wanted to listen to more. The passion in his voice mixes so well with his lonely guitar. It inspires people to be patriotic and love their country, but not blindly, that is, not without thinking about what they are doing. To love their country, but still look for its faults or its problems and try to fix them instead of ignoring them. I like to listen to his music nowadays because although the United States has made big steps forward since Ochs' time, it is still a reminder that we have many problems that need to be fixed and many ways to still improve our country. As always, I can't play the actual song for you because of copyright, but we can still look at the lyrics. So let's do it. Starting with verse 1. Oh, I marched to the Battle of New Orleans at the end of the early British wars. The young land started growing, the young blood started flowing, but I ain't marching anymore. Marching, or to march, is like to walk like a soldier does, in time and together with the other people. New Orleans is a city in the southern part of the United States, and this is a battle, or a time when there was a war in this part of the United States. The early British Wars was a war that happened before the USA was even created or founded. To flow just means to move like water. So here, blood flowing means that blood is being spilled. People are being hurt or killed. Ain't is just the same as saying I am not. I ain't marching anymore means I'm not going to march anymore. Obviously, this song is a very anti-war song. Now, let's look at verse 2. For I've killed my share of Indians in 1,000 different fights. I was there at the Little Big Horn. I heard many men a-lying. I saw many more a-dying. But I ain't marching anymore. My share of something means enough for me. So if I've eaten my share, it means I've eaten my part and I've had enough. Indians here, this word is sometimes still used, but typically we say Native Americans, the people who lived in the American continent before the Europeans came. Little Big Horn is a famous fight or battle that was against the Native Americans when the white Americans were expanding or moving towards the west. Here we see a lying and a dying, which just means lying or dying. Sometimes we put this "a" prefix in front of a verb, but it's very old style. We don't typically talk like this, but sometimes you'll hear it in poems or songs or things like that. And onward to the chorus. It's always the old to lead us to the wars. It's always the young to fall. Now look at what we've won with the saber and the gun. Tell me, is it worth it all? To fall in this case just means to die in battle or in the war. A saber is just a sword, something we use to fight. Is it worth it all means did we get enough or receive enough to make it okay that many people were lost or died? And onward to verse 3. For I stole California from the Mexican land, fought in the bloody Civil War. Yes, I even killed my brothers and so many others, but I ain't marching anymore. California, of course, is a state in the United States, which used to be a part of Mexico. The Civil War was the war that was fought between two parts of the United States in the 1860s about slavery. And onward to verse 4. For I marched in the battles of the German trench in a war that was bound to end all wars. Oh, I must have killed 1,000,000 men, and now they want me back again. But I ain't marching anymore. Of course, battles is just fights. A trench is just a deep and a long hole which soldiers make during the war. They use these to hide or to take cover, to be safe, and it was a very popular thing to do in the First World War. Bound to do something means that it was supposed to do something, or it was going to do something. So here, a war that was bound, or supposed to, going to, end all other wars. So after this, there should have been no more wars. They want me back again means that they want me to return. So they want him to become a soldier again. And then we're back to the chorus, but you know this already, it just repeats. So let's check out verse 5. For I flew the final mission in the Japanese skies, set off the mighty mushroom roar. When I saw the cities burning, I knew what I was learning, that I ain't marching anymore. Here, the Japanese skies is referring to World War II in the Pacific. To set off means to explode something. So set off the mighty, or the powerful, strong, mushroom roar. A roar is a very loud noise. So here they're talking about exploding the atomic bomb in Japan. And onward to verse 6. Now the labor leaders screaming when they close the missile plants. United fruit screams at the Cuban shore. Call it peace or call it treason. Call it love or call it reason. But I ain't marching anymore. No, I ain't marching anymore. Labor just means work. So the labor leaders are the working leaders, probably the rich bosses in the factories. Missile plants, a plant is like a factory. So a missile plant is a place where they make rockets or missiles for war. Call it peace. Peace means that there's no war. So call it peace or call it treason. Treason is when you are against your own country. So call it peace or call it treason. Call it love or call it reason. Reason is like smart thinking. But I ain't marching anymore. So I am not going to march, not going to be a soldier anymore. Then it goes back to the chorus, but you know this, it just repeats. So congratulations, now you know another English song. Well, that's all for today. See if you can use 5 of the new words or phrases that you learned today and write something in the comments down below. As always, I'll help you fix your mistakes. I recommend listening to this song on your way to school or work tomorrow to see how much you remembered. If you learned something new, feel free to press like or subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a great Monday. Toodles.